Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Noelle and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel. And today I have another book box. I have made quite a bit of progress in the 2 piles of book box subscriptions that I have here. I'll be almost caught up by the end of the year. You'll still probably see some October, November, and December 2022 boxes at the beginning of 2023, but then I'll be pretty caught up and I will not inundate you with all of these book boxes. Although I know some of you are really enjoying it, and those of you who are here just to watch and support, thank you so much for being here. I do truly appreciate it. Today's box is a great one from Down the Rabbit Hole book box, which includes a lot of darker reads, so a little bit of occasional horror, but a lot of thrillers, and I really love psychological thrillers with twists and turns and unexpected endings, and that was definitely the case for me with this box. And this was the December 2021 box, so I'm almost caught up with last year, which is exciting. Now they will put out hints about the upcoming book. You can actually email them and ask to get the exact title if you're worried about it being something that you've already read, but I do kind of like the mystery of that as well. So the theme or the hint for the December book box was Murder House, which is very daunting, right? But like I said, it was a great thriller. I actually read some of the reviews of it after the fact, and a lot of them were a little bit negative, maybe because of some of the sensitive topics that are covered in this book, but I actually was kind of kept myself guessing quite a bit until the end. There were some good red herring characters where I wasn't sure, and I didn't really figure it out until probably about 2/3 of the way through, which is pretty good. So this box is $49.99 per month. That does include the shipping, and I do have a code for you. It's just Noelle15. That'll save you 15%, and as always, I'll leave that for you in the description box below. You always want to check out the description box because it's got links to our secret password giveaways, to the No-Bot Nook, and then of course to all kinds of different discounts for different subscriptions that we open here on the channel. The book that was included for December 2021 was this one, The Woman in the Dark by Vanessa Savage, which is fun because I think it kind of goes along with that big trend, which is still sort of happening, right? Which was like the woman across the street, or the woman in the window, or the girl on the train. And I kind of get them all confused because of that title sort of trend, but this one was a really good one. So I think it came out just in 2019, so a pretty recent one. That's why there's so many reviews of it online on Goodreads, for example. But they do all kinds of boxes, book selections, including like more classics like Stephen King, Agatha Christie, but I also like when they do these newer titles as well. So what I do in these book box unboxings, in case you're new to it, is I will read the blurb. If it is a book that it sounds like you might want to read, then I highly suggest maybe skipping it, just for these kinds of reads where I don't want to give anything away, and I do sort of provide some context for some of the passages before I open the gifts. So in this case, if you are looking into reading this book after hearing the blurb, maybe wait to watch the rest of the unboxing. But the unboxings are really fun because as you read along, you will come to a page that has a sticky note, and that will tell you to go ahead and open a corresponding gift. And what's really nice is it's not always literally what is talked about in the book. Often it is kind of a loose interpretation, and I usually find that when it is a looser interpretation, here's an example of that sticky note, then it's usually an item that I can actually use a little bit more, except for example, in the last box that I opened, there was a beautiful camel-colored scarf, and we got a beautiful camel-colored scarf, and that was pretty awesome. So usually I feel like there's around 4 to 5 gifts, but in this particular box, there were 6, which is a ton, and one of them was kind of like a double gift, so this was a very bountiful box this time around. We do also get some nice extras in Down the Rabbit Hole book boxes sometimes. This time we got this gorgeous metal bookmark. Let me hold it from the back. It's just got some ribbons, and I thought that this bird in a cage was definitely appropriate for this book because it is about this woman in the dark who is very much trapped. So some of those sensitive topics that I did mention that might make this pass for some people. There is some suicidal ideation, there is a scene of rape, there's definitely a lot of domestic abuse, both physical and emotional. So just knowing that, maybe you've already crossed this book off of your list, and that is totally fine, but that is some of the topics that do get covered in some of the selections in this subscription. I thought that was a really cool bookmark, like I said, and it also came with a little envelope if you wanted to include it as a gift to someone else, which, you know, around this time of year, we're all looking for that kind of thing. So this might be a little bit of a very personal subscription to gift to someone unless you know they like dark reads like you do, for example. All right, let me go ahead and read the inside blurb for you, and then we'll get into our gifts, of course. So it says, now you have to imagine this in a Welsh accent, which I can't do a Welsh accent, but it takes place there. So, you know, sometimes in my brain, I kind of slipped into like more of a British accent, but we'll have to do with what we can. All right, so it says, what she can't see can hurt her. For Sarah and Patrick, family life has always been easy until her mother's death sends Sarah spiraling into depression. When she overdoses on sleeping pills, Sarah insists it was an accident, but neither Patrick nor their teenage children believe her. Determined to give their family a fresh start, Patrick convinces her to move back to the idyllic beachside home where he grew up. But there's a catch. The once beautiful old house is now known as the murder house. Like, why would you move into a house known as the murder house? It says, it has been standing empty for 15 years, ever since another family was brutally slaughtered within its walls. Nostalgic for his childhood, Patrick is adamant that this can be their dream home again. Sarah tries to bring it back to its original warmth, but as locals hint that the house is haunted, the children begin having nightmares. Strange writing appears on the walls, and creepy gifts suddenly arrive on the doorstep at odd hours. With the news that the murderer has been paroled, Sarah can't shake the feeling that something just isn't right. Not with the house, not with the town, not even with her own loving husband, whose stories about his perfect childhood suddenly aren't adding up. Can Sarah uncover the secrets of the murder house before another family is destroyed? So yes, there's a little element of supernatural, but which is not usually my cup of tea, but to the point where it's like there's supernatural going on, but at the same time you have an idea that there's a human, a living human that's behind it, and there is indeed. But again, there were some good little detours that kept me guessing for quite a while. So let's go ahead and start with our first gift, which was on, I think, page 6. So quite a few pages in this book. Sometimes it was kind of hard to, sometimes it's a little hard to flip through and just find the sticky notes. Let's see. So it was mostly told in the voice of Sarah, and then this other sort of creepy watcher that's part of it, and we eventually kind of figure out who that is. So we have Open It Gift 1. So this is before they move into the murder house. When my best friend moved into a bigger, better house around the corner from us, she announced it by turning up on our doorstep, a bottle of Prosecco in her hand, saying, "Surprise!" Patrick thinks she did it deliberately to wind him up, and although I denied it, I'm sure Caroline took an extra bit of pleasure in the move, knowing how much it would upset him. She'd known him almost as long as I have, and given how much energy they devote to trying to stop me from falling apart again, to keeping me focused on the future, they should be best of friends. Instead, they're constantly at each other's throats. But I know their concern comes from a place of love, even their petty squabbles, and if their cotton wool comfort makes me a little claustrophobic, I won't forget it got me through the bad times, which she has experienced after her mother finally passes away. Says, "Are you going to Helen's book club tonight?" "I can't. Patrick's taking me out." So that was gift 1, which I've pulled a few of them out, but I haven't pulled all of them out. So gift number 1, this is what it looks like. You get a nice little sticker. Sometimes it's in a mailer bag. Sometimes it's in a box. And, oh my goodness, I forgot what this one was. So we get a little sometimes as an explanation to help us with the interpretation, we'll get like a little card like this. It says Helen's Book Club. Book club gift, bookish stickers. These theme stickers include 50 pieces designed for the book lover and all of us. Each one is unique and you'll love it. All stickers are made of superior PVC. It's waterproof and sunproof. You can use it to decorate skateboards, luggage, cars, PS5, Xbox, Chromebook, coolers, bumpers, bikes, guitars, bicycles, PC, helmets, scrapbooks, envelopes, cups, computers, travel cases, motorcycles, snowboards, and more. That's quite the list. So we got this giant stack, you guys, of stickers, which we've gotten some stacks of stickers before from this box, which is fun. So this one is just a bookish one. I thought this was cute. There's really like different ones, some that are a little bit more cutesy. I'm not going to show you all 50, but nice variety. And of course, this is perfect for someone who's into books. So I might hold on to these for our own book club that we're thinking of doing over in the No-Bot Nook, so maybe everybody will get a sticker. That would be kind of a fun way of congratulating ourselves for finishing a book if we ever manage to decide on one. All right, so the next one was on page 96. Let me see if I can find that one. So again, this is what the little sticky note looks like. Very pretty, matches the box, of course. Let me see if I can remember what this one is all about. Sometimes I have to try to remember exactly what the gift is. So maybe I'll take a quick peek at what the gift is. Ah, yes, okay. So they've now moved into the murder house and they're trying to make it look nice. So it says, I put down my phone and look around the room, determined to do what I said and make this work, even without flashy new kitchens and bathrooms. I've embarked on a massive spring cleaning. I put cushions on the sofa in the living room, pictures on the walls. The old gas fire is not exactly the wood-burning stove of our dreams, but it gives off a cozy glow and warmth. I've lit scented candles and put flowers on the coffee table. It smells of cinnamon and polish. Not beautiful yet, but getting there. And of course, some things kind of can't be covered by paint, right? There's cold spots in the house. So we got this nice box. So this is an example of a box, nice red box in here. And because she is kind of doing that spring cleaning, we got this lovely bookish candle from Sunday's Child. So very simple in this little jar. And the scents, you guys, are leather, tobacco leaf, patchouli, caramel, and musk. So very much like what you would want in a homey home library. Ooh, that does smell good. So nice little candle. You guys know I'm always loving getting candles, and I think that they're so perfect for a book box as well. So I feel like when she's going through and deciding on the gifts, she probably sees a passage that has a candle and she's like, there, done. Or a particular scent where it might be easy to find a candle. Let's see. The next one is on page 124. Let me see if I can find this one for you. I, again, have to kind of think about what the gift might have been. So let's see. What could this be? What could this be? Oh, so they have two children. It's Joe and Mia. Mia is a really frustrating character for sure. Honestly, Sarah's a really frustrating character as well, and that was some of the comments in the reviews, is that they just felt like, you know, Patrick was just this awful character, this awful monster, and Sarah just has no agency. She just can't manage to escape. She's very much trapped, but I feel like that would be a little bit of victim blaming, right? Because she is just she is in the dark. She really just doesn't know what's going on for a good part of it, and then it's always very hard to get yourself out of an abusive situation, abusive relationship. So she's looking at her son Joe, who has his own troubled past, and they have keeping some secrets from him too. So it says, but I thought I had to be wrong because it's Dad. I look at the sketchbook again. Maybe it's not Joe on the cliff edge. Maybe it's Patrick, because Joe is an artist, as is Sarah. It says, but no, like Joe said, Patrick doesn't cry. You don't believe me, do you? It's not that. It's just your dad. Why would he be crying? Joe shakes his head. This whole fresh start thing, it's crap, Mum. Things are worse, not better, and all your talk about turning it into a home, it's never going to happen. Come on, Joe, it's only been 2 weeks. Joe picks up his sketchbook, closes it, and puts it under his pillow. Can you go, please? My throat is tight. There's a darkness rising in my son, and it makes him a stranger, unreachable. I've seen it happen before. I know what happened to his birth mother, and it terrifies me that Joe could end up the same. So there's a little mystery there for you as well that I won't ruin. But we have a gift number 3. So you can see this was definitely a December box, so it's kind of appropriate that I waited this whole year. I'm going to justify waiting a whole year. And this was the one that was a double gift, so kind of fun. So we heard Joe picks up his sketchbook, closes it, and puts it under his pillow. So we got this nice premium sketch pad, which mine's a little bit curved because it had to fit into the box, but that is definitely something that I thought we might get because, again, there's a lot of art happening in here. Sarah is using her art as a means of escape, but we also have a pillowcase because Joe tucks it under. Now, it's not going to be this particular pillowcase, but here's an example of where there's a little bit of a looser interpretation so that it is something that you might be able to use in your own home. So I'm just going to pull this out of the plastic. It's a pretty big square pillowcase, and it's just very bookish. I was going to see if I have it right side up. So it's kind of has this nice rust brown background and then a nice big stack of books. So pretty cute to have on your couch or in your reading nook. So I thought that was kind of a fun double gift. Again, we got both the sketchbook as well as the pillow. So that was kind of fun. All right, we're only halfway through. I better speed it up a little bit. So on page 158, and I thought she did a really nice job of also kind of spreading out the gifts this time around. Sometimes it's kind of hard when you have to like wait like 200 pages for another one. So this is gift number 4. Let me think about it. Okay, so she has made a friend, Anna, which is really nice. And this is a pretty loose interpretation. We stand in silence for a while, looking out to sea. I want to do it, I do, but I'm scared, I say. Of what? Of everything. I like your secret beach. So Anna's taken her to a secret beach for inspiration for her paintings, for her sketches. She smiles. Then it shall be your secret beach too. We'll share it, 50-50. Another secret to keep from Patrick. She holds out a handful of tiny pebbles in a dozen pastel shades, wet from the sea. The sun turns them into glittering jewels. Paint this place, she says. Have your exhibition. Do something for you. I lick my dry lips and they taste of salt. I will, I say. I'll do it. So there is a small gallery in this little town, and she has decided to work with the owner. I think his name is Ben. I kind of got lost track of some of the names. And she has a little crush on Ben too. And she is going to try to put together an exhibition. So this one, this is definitely a little bit of a looser interpretation, but I kind of thought it was pretty. So remember, she holds out a tiny handful of tiny pebbles that turn into glittering jewels. And so we have this really pretty like wall hanging. Let me see, it's still a little bit tangled. Let me see if I can get that to come down. So we have this little fairy that's sitting in the moon, a little charm at the bottom, and then all of these beautiful light catchers. And then of course there's this chain with a hoop at the top. So you could put this in your window. It might be a bit much to have on your rear view, but I thought that was a really fun interpretation. Instead of getting like a sack full of pebbles, that we got these beautiful kind of rainbow makers, right? So that is what we got this time around. Really pretty. Definitely regiftable too, but a nice thing to have in your patio or your garden, or if you have like a bigger tree in your home or even outside your home, that might be something fun to have. So I thought that was a good one. Definitely an unexpected interpretation. That next one is gift number 5 on page 224. Let me see if I can remember what this one is. So, okay, so things are kind of picked up in pace. It says, last night after everything that happened, I slept. I didn't hear him get up to go to Mia. I didn't even hear him sawing a bloody tree down in the garden. So basically Patrick's found out that their teenage daughter has been sneaking out and meeting up with some guy. Patrick brought me a cup of tea, made so strong it was bitter, and sat with me while I drank it, apologizing over and over again. That was what I'd gone to sleep on, a lullaby of, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. You have to get us out of here, Mum, Joe says again as I go back toward my room. I pick up my mug from last night and stare down into it. All those cups of tea he's been making me. It's not my future in tea leaves I'm looking for, though. It's the white residue from crushed sleeping pills. So the husband has suddenly become suspect. Not suddenly, but now she knows he's been actually drugging her so that he can cut down the tree in the middle of the night. So we got this really pretty envelope. I do love the envelopes that we get. And of course, inside, we got some tea. Hopefully not drugged tea. This is Florence Nightingale tea. So this one's actually really cute. So adorable. So it's a nighttime tea blend. So it is meant to put you to sleep, but hopefully without any actual drugs in there. So kind of nice. Chamomile flower, gotu-kola leaf, orange peel, lavender, cinnamon bark. So a nice cozy tea to enjoy. And then finally, we have one more gift to round it out, you guys, and that is on page 286. So almost at the end. I think the whole book was like 340 pages or so. Let's see if I can find the last one, which is gift number 6. Oh, this is a good one. So she's suspicious of everyone, basically, this woman in the dark. So it says, my legs are shaking as I back out of the room and close the door, wishing there was a fucking lock on it. Joe's been sleeping in there with those monstrous pictures on the wall. My breath is fast and harsh as I move on to Mia's room. Most of her possessions seem to be scattered across the floor, clean and dirty, all mixed up. I crouch to look under her bed for shoes and see something else tucked right at the back, something shiny. She must have dropped something down the side of the bed. I lie down and wriggle under, stretching my fingers out to reach it. The chain is dusty, but I recognize it right away. It's my my mother's necklace, the gold chain with the sapphire pendant, her best necklace she used to call it, always putting it on when we went back to visit. My hands are shaking and I drop it on Mia's rug where it sinks into the shaggy pile and disappears. I push my hands into the rug until I find it again, the dust all gone, shiny and gold again. So many memories of my mother in every link of the chain. And so, of course, we got a lovely jewelry piece. But I did like this. It does have a blue stone there to kind of be like the sapphire, but I love the antlers, so it makes it a little bit more modern, in my opinion, versus like vintage. I guess this is probably comes from like a vintage design, but I actually thought that was a really pretty necklace, and I love the jewel tone of it, so I thought it was kind of cool. So I thought these were really great gifts, some bookish gifts. We got, you know, the light catcher, we got sun catcher, we got some jewelry, the pillowcase, the sketch pad. Really useful gifts this time around, and I personally enjoyed the book. So if you've read it, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Definitely check out Down the Rabbit Hole book box if you like those darker reads, and I will see you all very, very soon in my next unboxing.